Hello my dear learners, I hope you all are doing well. I'm Faculty of English, SRN International School, and welcome to today's online learning portal. Today we are going to discuss about IELTS reading test and different typology of questions and tips to solve all these questions. So let's start. Now the first reading test format for IELTS academics, which is for 60 minutes. So there are 3 sections and each containing one long text. The texts are all real and are taken from books, magazines or newspapers. They have been written for a non-specialist audience and are on academic topics of general interest, which means that you do not need any specialist knowledge to do well. The texts are appropriate to and accessible to, and candidates entering undergraduate or postgraduate courses or seeking professional registration can go for it and appear it very clearly. Text range from the descriptive to factual to discursive, analytical. Text may contain non-verbal material such as diagrams, graphs or illustrations. If text contain technical terms, then a simple glossary is also provided to the users. Now let's move on. Next is your reading test format, which is for IELTS general training, which is again for 60 minutes. Here you have 3 sections. Now section 1 contains 2 or 3 short factual text, one of which may be composite, consisting of 6 to 8 short texts related by topic. For example, hotel advertisement. Topics are relevant to everyday life in an English-speaking country. Your section 2 contains 2 short factual texts focusing on work-related issues. For example, applying for jobs, company policies, pay and conditions, workplace facilities, staff development and training. Now section 3 contains 1 longer text, more complex text on a topic of general interest. Now here you will be reading real passages taken from notices, advertisements, company handbooks, official documents, books, magazines and newspaper. Now I would be sharing some tips to improve your performance in the reading test, so please listen to it very carefully. Now tip number 1. To improve your performance in the reading test, you need to practice reading in a variety of English text. This will help you to develop the ability to read very quickly. Now tip number 2 is read every question carefully, first before reading the passages especially. This will make it easier for you to find the answers. Underline possible answers as you can. In computer-based delivery IELTS paper, you need to read the question again and again. And you can also highlight that particular section. Now tip number 3 is when you come to reading the passage, read it very quickly the first time when you are reading it, and then read the questions also and try to remind yourself which parts of the passage you will need to reread again in detail. Tip number 4, my dear students, is that the reading passages always contain the information you need to answer the question. You won't have to use your own knowledge for a topic. Tip number 5 is that if you are copying words from a question or reading passage to use in your answer, remember that your spelling must be accurate. In computer-based IELTS, you can copy-paste from your keyboard and move your answers to the answer screen. Now we will be discussing the types of questions which are there in your IELTS paper. So there are basically 10 different types of questions which you will be getting. Multiple choice questions, short answer questions, sentence completion questions, notes, table form, summary, flow chart, yes, no, not given or true and false, classification questions, matching, choosing headings, scanning, identifying location or information, labeling a diagram which has numbered parts. Now all these questions the types of questions I won't be discussing in this particular video. So I will also create one second part of the video in which we would be discussing the next half of the questions. So let's start. Now first is the multiple choice type of questions. Now multiple choice, for this type of question you are required to choose the best answer from 4 alternatives, or the best 2 answers from the 5 alternatives, or the best 3 answers from 7 alternatives. The questions may involve completing a sentence where you are given the first part of a sentence and then choose the best way to complete it from the options. There could be complete questions where you will be asked to choose the option that best answers them. The questions are in the same order as the information in the reading text. That is, the answer to the first question in this question type will be located in the text before the answer to the second question, and so on. Now let's see a format of this particular type of question. So as you can see on the screen, that the question says that write the correct letter A, B, C or D in the box 14 to 16 on your answer sheet. So you can see there's a question and there are 4 alternatives to each question. So you have to tick the correct alternative. Let's move ahead. Now the next type is where identifying information type questions. Now here what will happen is you will be given a number of statements and you will be asked to do the following statements. Agree with the information in the text. You are required to write true or false or not given in the answer boxes. Now here it is important to understand the difference between false and not given. Most of the children, they make a mistake here. Now my dear children, false means the passage states the opposite of the statement in question. And not given means that the statement is neither confirmed nor contradicted by the information in the passage. Now let's see a format of this particular question. Now here you can see that question number 1 to 8, it states that are the following statements true, false or not given according to the information in the passage. Now clearly the meaning of true, false and not given is given, and there are a set of 18 sentences where you have to identify these sentences. Let's move ahead. Now next is identifying writer views and claims. In this question type you will be given a number of statements and you will be asked, like, do the following statements agree with the views, claims of the writers? You will then select yes, no or not given. Now again it is important to understand the difference between no and not given. No means that the views or claims of the writer explicitly disagree with the statement. That is, the writer somewhere expresses the view or makes a claim that is opposite to the one given in the question. Not given means that, as we have already discussed, that not given means that the view or claim is neither confirmed nor contradicted. Any knowledge that you bring from outside the passage should not play a part when deciding on your responses. Now let's see a format of this particular question. So here you can see that do the following statements agree with the views of the writer in the reading passage? Write yes, no or not given, and there are a set of 5 to 6 sentences where you have to pick the correct choice of yes, no or not given. So I hope this is very clear to you. Now let's move to the next type of question, which is matching information. Now in this question type you are required to locate a specified information within the lettered paragraphs or sections of a text and to select the letters of the correct paragraph sections in the answer section. You may be asked to find specific details, an example, a reason, a description, a comparison, a summary or an explanation. You will not necessarily need to find information in every paragraph or section of the text, but there may be more than one piece of information that you need to locate in a given paragraph or section. When this is the case, you will be told that you can use any letter more than once. I hope this is very clear to you. Now let's see a format of this particular question. So here you can see that question 14 to 19, they say that sample passage 7 has 8 paragraphs labeled A to H. Which paragraphs contain the following information? Write the correct letter in the box 14 to 19 on your answer sheet. You may use any letter more than once. So these are the set of questions, and then you have to label them according to the paragraphs. So I hope till now all the typology of questions are very clear to you. Yes, so in my coming sessions we would be discussing more such types of questions which may come in your IELTS general and academic paper. So stay tuned, and till then keep on practicing such type of questions, children. So see you in my next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.